Welcome back to the New York City Multifamily Podcast. Matt, Gault, and I today are joined by a very fun character who I've really had the pleasure and enjoyment of getting to know over the past 6 months or so. Paul Carassone, also known on Instagram as the Property Boss. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've been talking about setting this up now for a couple of months, but you've built up quite the following, about 250,000 followers on Instagram. I'm a big fan of everything that you're doing. You've been an outspoken supporter of the industry, not just in Hudson Valley, where your current portfolio is, but down here in New York City, and commenting and partnering up a little bit with some of the industry lobbyists. So thank you on behalf of the industry for being a vocal supporter of property rights and just general common sense. And it's been fun to follow you along here.
Good. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the invite. And this is going to be interesting.
Paul, why don't we start with a little background on the family business, because it is in a way a family business. And why don't you give the audience some background? You guys started in the supermarket business in Brooklyn. You transitioned to owning apartment buildings in the Bronx. And now you got out of both of those businesses. And now you own almost 1,000 apartments in the Hudson Valley, 90 minutes or so north of New York City. These are, 3 different beasts here. How did you start?
You know what? I started working in supermarkets when I was around 9 years old. We didn't have a lot of money growing up, and we needed to do our part in the house. So I'd be going around the corner to the local grocery store and begging for tips. I got my working papers, and then that became a thing. Go to school, come home, go to work. Go to school, come home, go to work. And it was something that never ended until about, 25 years ago. You work your way through the market all the way up to manager, store manager. And believe it or not, the educations I got in the supermarkets taught me everything I needed to know about business to be successful in the real estate industry. I didn't get out of the stores because I thought real estate was going to be an easier way to go. I got out of the stores because I thought I was meant to be in a different path. And real estate has definitely taken me down that path. Now my kids are in the office working. My brother and I have been partners, my God, since we started in real estate. This was a thing that we were meant to do together, and that's it.
Was there a chip on your shoulder at that young age of, I want to do something different or better? It sounds like you were trying to work towards something. What motivated you to go from the grocery business to buying apartment buildings in the Bronx?
Okay, so the apartment buildings in the Bronx, we stepped into that. My father had some buildings in the Bronx.
Okay.
That's where my brother and I started. We started learning how to work those buildings.
Okay, so what were some of the first things that you did for your dad?
First lesson, fix shit yourself, because every penny you save is a penny you get to put in your pocket. Once you know the industry, once you know the unknowns, what can go wrong in a building, and you could fix it yourself, that is a fortune savings towards your bottom line. People don't realize you don't know what's going to pop up from any given day. You don't know, hey, it's another day. What goes wrong on this one?
Right.
And I'm sorry, the more you have, the more that will go wrong.
You're asking for problems.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, there's real estate is taxed as passive income.
Yeah, sure.
Is this passive income? There's nothing passive
Nothing
about this.
passive about real estate.
Yeah.
The first time
Nothing.
I met you, Paul, I don't know if you remember, I didn't really know you, but I kind of saw you on social media, so I didn't really know what to expect. I knew you had some fancy cars or whatnot, but I met you and we were literally army crawling in the basement.
Yep.
And I just thought this was so crazy. What did I get myself into? But here you are, you're like leading the way with your flashlight. I'm trying to make it out of survival. But like, it's crazy because I didn't know what to expect. We're literally army crawling in the basement. How does that contribute to your success? Being hands-on, that's everything, right? That's across the board.
Once you start to gain that experience, you know what to look for.
Yeah.
So to speak, where the bodies are buried. Okay? You walk into a basement, look at the beams, see what's happening. Look at the boiler, see what's going on. Look at the pit. Look at everything in that basement. Is it damp? Is it humid? Water coming in? What's really going on? And that's just the basement. Look at the service. Is it aluminum wiring? It's an old building. Is there fuses? It's an old building. Are there breakers? Has it been upgraded? Has it been updated? These are things you have to know cold. Otherwise, you're destined to make a mistake or spend a lot of money. What are you going to do? Now hire an inspector to come in there and start to charge you up the ass looking for problems. No, every penny served is a penny kept.
Yeah, we get these. Sometimes the newer buyers to the market will do a property condition report.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, every time somebody does one of these, there's almost guaranteed to be a retrade because you're paying someone $1,200 or whatever to go in and find all the problems. If they give you a report that says there's nothing wrong, they're going to be out of business real quick.
Yeah, of course. They have to find something.
They have to find something. But that's interesting. Okay, so you're working for your dad. What lessons along the way? I worked for my dad when I was in high school. He's a veterinarian. And so I started working with him, and that was a very different experience. My dad at home was not the same dad at work. So what was that like working for you personally with your dad? What lessons was he teaching you along the way?
He was teaching me the mechanics, construction, what makes a building tick. Okay? You're talking about a man who came over from Italy when he was 16 years old.
Wow.
One leg. When he was here in his 40s, he wound up cutting one of his eyes out. Okay? You're talking about a man who had a lot of things stacked against him why he shouldn't be successful. And yet he fought through everything. So if the most important thing I can send out to anybody, what you have against you should never be what stops you from moving forward. And my father instilled that in my brother and I. You see that every day. He would get up, strap on his leg. I hate to say it like that, and I don't mean it to be funny, but the truth is that was his morning routine.
I'm trying not to envision your dad as a pirate.
No iPads.
No,
Definitely no parrot. You would see the morning routine. Put on a leg, grab the tool, jump in the van, head down to the Bronx. Because by this time, he's living in the Valley. And his wife, because my mother and father were divorced when I was just an infant.
Okay.
So his wife is taking care of all the books, taking care of evictions, things like that. And you want to talk about being involved. She would call up ABC Radio. They would have landlord shows and things like that on the state of real estate. And she would call them up and be very vocal to try and speed things up. So learning that, and Mark had access to that every day, my brother.
Mark, your brother.
Right. Had access to that. Even though he was a young kid, he had access to it. And it is what trained him to be the businessman he is today. He's involved in the collections, the inner working. He's more of the tenant side. He's constantly out there dealing with tenants, trying to make money, trying to collect the money. It's getting harder and harder to collect money.
Yeah.
And his job is getting more and more difficult. But that's what he does. I'm more on the office end of things. I'm essentially running the office and running the field. Refis, anything legal, that's the stuff I play with.
A little bit more like asset management.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
High level stuff. Your brother collects the rents and deals with like.
If we have to buy a property, I'm the one finding the property. I'm the one vetting the property. I'm the one, all the behind the scenes stuff. That's what I'm doing. And those were not things I learned from my father. I learned the mechanics, how to fix from him, and how to just constantly fight to succeed.
Right.
As far as my business acumen, that came from the stores, because that was a fight every day too.
The grocery store?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Say more about that.
Number one thing you're worried about, you have to protect every piece of merchandise in that store, because you have items that you have to rotate through. You have to deal with, you've got meat department, dairy department, you have produce, deli, bakery, and then you have a front end. At a very young age, I was taught this. You can do everything right. If the money doesn't make it into the register, you've done it all for nothing. So now that's a whole nother side of just being in a store. You've got cashiers. You've got to watch out that not every cashier is a partner. Not every bookkeeper is a partner. Not every grocery clerk is a partner. And you know what I mean by that.
Yes,
these are people who could potentially be stealing.
Yeah.
They run these scams. We've broken up rings of from front end supervisor to 7 to 10 cashiers, all working together to pocket money.
Wow.
Yeah.
In the moment, did you realize that you were learning these life lessons?
No, I was working and getting aggravated.
You were working and getting aggravated. Right.
Yes.
I have to kind of pinch myself a little bit sometimes when we don't realize how much we know. Just doing our normal jobs, you're working and getting aggravated, exactly as you said. But these are lessons along the way. If you're not struggling a little bit or stuff isn't hard, you're not getting stronger and you're not learning.
You're not learning.
So every one of these struggles that we're dealing with, certainly dealing with the downstate stuff here in New York City, gets harder every year. When eventually the world changes, we're going to come out even stronger than before.
Without a doubt. The city's a shit show. However, it's nothing new to New York City. New York City has always been a problem in itself. New York City, the 5 boroughs, have always been hard on the landlord. However, people make a lot of money in real estate in New York City.
That's right.
Okay? It is the number one place in the world to invest in real estate. Without a doubt. Everybody talks about Florida. Everybody's talking about different states, Midwest, here you go, where we're going. But New York City has got the best appreciation in the world.
Yeah. One man's treasure is another man's trash. The money doesn't go anywhere. It just changes pockets. Somebody said this to me yesterday. And yeah, right now, everyone wants to buy the dip, right? Everyone wants to buy low, sell high. But when it comes to actually writing the check and doing it, then it's another whole other story.
Well, you know what? If you're buying in New York City, there are opportunities out here right now.
Yeah.
You're talking about generational pricing, especially in the Bronx. You're talking about a market that 5 years ago was 10 times the market, 10 times the rent roll market.
Yeah.
Originally, it was anywhere from 5 to 7. I'm going to say 20 years ago, 22, 23 years ago, I was looking in the Bronx and it was a 5 to 7 times the market. All right. And you know what? You were stealing properties back then. Now, you're getting properties in the Bronx. Now, 2 times the rent roll, 3 times the rent roll. That's generational pricing.
Would you be a buyer if you were 10 or 15 years younger?
Yes, I would. I would definitely be a buyer at these prices because I know you're a political cycle away from change. Everybody's talking about Mamdani and how he's changing the world. It ain't going to happen. It's really not going to happen. You could think it's going to happen, but it's not. He will disrupt. He will definitely disrupt things. But it's a political cycle away from upside.
Always is.
So if you can ride it out, it's going to be a home run. He's not going to come in and take people's properties. That's a bunch of horse shit. He can't. You know how many challenges there will be in court over that? It ain't going to happen. We have a constitution in this country. It's not going to happen.
The opportunity right now is crazy. Like,
yeah.
In the Bronx specifically, like we have a building we just reduced the price on to 3.2 times the rent on the asking price. It's an 11 cap. If anyone wants to buy it, reach out. Almost every building is trading at 4 times the rent. It's crazy how much of an opportunity is there. So you had the buildings in the Bronx with your dad. At what point did you guys decide to sell them and why?
Okay, he decided to sell them. He couldn't put up with the aggravation anymore.
Okay.
It was an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half drive for him. And he was going down to the buildings 3 times a week. Oh, Jesus. You know what? Let's say 22 to 25 years ago.
Early 2000s.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he got tired of driving down to the Bronx. Go down to the Bronx in his van every day, noisy, rickety, fucking shit show of a van with all his tools, everything labeled from screw size to nail size, all labeled in coffee cans on the shelves. And you would go into the truck and he would say to you, Paul, go down to the truck, 2nd shelf, 4th row, 2 deep, you got 2-inch screws.
He knew exactly where he had his own little Home Depot in the back of.
And you would go down there exactly where he said it was going to be is where it was.
Wow.
Go down there. Now you can't call. Shit, how many did he want?
Right. You got to run back upstairs.
And you got to bring the whole can.
Right.
And then, why you bring the can? Because I forgot how many you wanted. Get out of here, you asshole. Bring that can back downstairs. And that was it. And I'd have to go back. But every one of those trips down to the van was a lesson.
It's so interesting. You're a young man at this time. Maybe
I'm a kid.
You're a kid. Like you don't know. You're just like, oh, Dad. Like, stop. You're such a pain in the ass.
No, he's
like,
a pain in the ass.
Wow. He gave you an hourly wage? How did you kind of work?
Hourly wage. I didn't get a penny.
I guess he let you live in his house for free?
You got nothing.
You got nothing.
Nothing.
So he was working bagging groceries.
That's exactly. I would go to the buildings with him because I'm working.
Yeah.
So I would go to the buildings with him if I was off in the summer. We're out at school. I'd be going maybe 2 times a week with the building. He's fixing parapets. He's parging, which is pointing. Instead of going out there and scaffolding the whole building, he would hit the parapet and taught you what to look for.
Right.
It taught you the hidden gems of what people do to hide stuff. What I like to call hide the lies.
Hide the lies.
Somebody asked me once, Paul, when you go look at a building, what are you looking for? My answer was very simple: the lies.
The lies.
Because everything is hidden. Coat of paint hides a lot.
Yeah.
New compound hides a lot. Roof, what happened to that roof? Okay, it's a new roof. How many splices does this roof have? All right, you know what? The roof itself, how's it going up the parapet? Termination bar, what's happening? Is it going to the top of the parapet? What are they hiding? Sooner or later, moisture is going to get behind it, and it's going to eat away at the cement. And before you know it, you're not going to know when that thing starts to collapse inward.
Because it's too late.
Exactly.
So if you kind of babysit it every day, Band-Aid here, fix this there, no big problems. If you just leave it and it gets neglected and then you wait for the diagnosis, it's a huge problem. It's an insurmountable problem. And this is what this is what the industry downstate in New York City has been talking about with all the HSTPA. Nobody's fixing stuff anymore unless it's like a big problem where you have to and then you don't have the money.
But you can't. You don't have the money. How are you going to fix things when there's no money coming in? It's funny. The landlord now has the worst name as any. It used to be lawyers. Used to be lawyers.
Yeah.
But now lawyers are sitting in a nice cushy position. They're no longer the most hated group of people on earth. Now it's the landlord. It is now the person who supplies housing. What's funny, I want to rename it. Sanitary engineer's a garbage man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Give me a sec. Community guardian.
Ooh, sounds fancy.
Yes.
You sound like Curtis Sliwa.
Don't put me in the same category as Curtis Sliwa. If he would have bowed out of the election, Mandani would not be mayor of this city.
I agree with you. It was very selfish of him to stay in the
selfish. Absolutely.
You were managing and doing the hands-on stuff with your dad in the Bronx at a young age. What was the first scary moment for you dealing as a property manager in the Bronx where you're like, oh, crap? Was there anything like, guns, knives?
Of course.
This is the Bronx 20 years ago. This is the Bronx now. Like this is.
Of course.
Yeah. So what was the first moment when you had this wake-up call of, oh, crap, this is scary?
One, going up the stairs, met in the top floor right before the roof, people there with baseball bats looking to bang out my father. Then another time, walking up, somebody comes up the stairwell trying to rob him because he's coming around collecting rent checks.
Right.
These people are stupid. They're going to try and steal checks. What are they going to do with the checks?
Yeah. What?
Do with them.
Yeah. Okay.
That was another time. And then, you know what? He changed the locks one day.
Like on the front doors?
He changed the lock on a tenant's door.
Okay.
Tenant was in eviction for about 9 months. He says, you know what? The hell with this. I'm going to change the lock. Police show up the door 20 minutes later, looking to lock him up. I was like, oh my God, is that how it is? Is that how it is? You're going to not pay, rob from us, but the second we try to change a lock and you can't get in your apartment, we're going to get arrested? That was a wake-up call.
Was that part of the tipping point to get out of New York City at that point?
For him, yeah.
Yeah.
For him, yeah. It was a series of things. He's getting older. He wanted a quiet of life. He lived upstate. He just wanted to not get out of the business, but get out of the rat race of the city. Oddly enough, one of the buildings, which happened to be my favorite building, had a fire in it about 3-4 years ago. And I saw it. I want to say it was a 55-unit building, which, lovely building, but whoever had it wasn't maintaining it. They had some sort of fire in there, caused a problem. Another thing people don't realize about this business, if you don't maintain, it's not like you're just going to walk away and everything is going to be okay. If you don't maintain your building and somebody gets hurt and it's negligent and God forbid somebody dies, you could go to jail for that. That's like a manslaughter charge.
Yeah, it's really scary stuff.
That's
It's not a joke.
That's a big problem.
Yeah.
It's not like, fuck it, let somebody else take it. No, it don't work that way.
Well, the policy changes recently in New York are making it more and more likely that events like this will
Yes,
happen.
absolutely.
Because you're basically handcuffed and you're not a slumlord. You want to do the right thing. And then the city basically puts you in a position where you can't escape this characteristic because they're just going to go raid the buildings and put DOB and HPD on you. And all of a sudden you got 100 violations on the building. And now because you're littered with violations, now you're categorized as a slumlord. So you're a bad person. And then a fire breaks out, God forbid, and
Let's
you got a real
talk
problem.
about the violations. Because you can get a violation for essentially anything. A piece of paint is chipping in the hallway, it's a violation. Garbage is not in the tanks, it's a violation. Blue bags with the green bags, it's a violation. Flower pots on the fire escape, it's a violation. No smoke detectors because they took out the battery and put it in the remote, it's a violation. They can invent violations out of the blue. Landlords are not necessarily, look, there are good landlords and bad landlords, make no mistake.
Yeah.
But it's not always the landlord's fault there's a violation in an apartment. You walk into an apartment, you got boxes stacked to the ceiling, the people are hoarders. You can't get in the apartment, and before you know it, the inspector can get in the apartment, you get 100 violations. How did that become your problem? How did that become your fault? But it happens. It is an evil of everyday real estate business. You get a violation if you piss wrong, okay?
Yeah.
In your own bathroom.
Yeah.
It's a violation.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy as they make it.
All right. So we've got a portfolio on the market for
Yes.
you right now in Hudson Valley. We're just getting started on that. And we've talked a lot about moving on and doing something, not playing golf for the rest of your life and doing nothing, but going to the next phase in the business. And it sounds like maybe what similarities are you feeling now that maybe your father felt 30 years ago when he transitioned out of the Bronx? Any similarities that you can kind of relate to?
You get beat up. This business can beat you up quick. In social media land, real estate is the quickest way to obtain wealth. In reality, it's probably one of the hardest ways to obtain wealth. It is a fight every single day to be successful in this business. And sometimes the fight leaves you. That's it. I worked my whole life. What is the average lifespan? I think it's like 71, 72 for a male in the US.
Okay.
I think. Think about it. I'm 60. I'm going to work another 11, 12 years? For what? To drop dead one morning? No.
I don't think so.
I'm going to enjoy the hard work of the last 50 behind me.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you're going to do with your newfound time and change in lifestyle?
What, babe? Travel
Travel.
is one. I'm definitely going to get into another business.
Okay.
I just don't know what.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll build a couple of car washes, maybe gas station. Who knows? I was talking with somebody last night who's hot for gas stations and mini marts. It might be something, especially with my grocery business, my grocery mind behind me.
Yeah.
It could be something I could be successful in. It's a hard business, but it could be something I could float.
You mean to run the actual business,
Yeah.
not like a net lease. You're talking about running the actual.
Yes, run it. Now, since my social media, my social fame, I've opened up a consulting firm. So now I consult with people looking to get into the business. And it's more of a hand-holding exercise. All right, this is what you need to know. Let's find a property. Let's start looking for a property. What kind of property? Well, this is where you are. This is what you do. This is what you should be looking for. Start slow. Take the step only as far as the legs will allow. Don't try to grow so quick. What I provide is we find a property together. Then I have the legal team. I have the mortgage team. I even have the accounting team. I have everybody. I also have the real estate brokers team who will help you find a property. Marcus and Milchat.
Nice shout out. I love that. Nicely done.
That is a needed product of getting into this business.
This consulting business, is it a business? Is it like a side hustle? Is it
No,
like
it's not a side
It's like an
hustle.
altruistic, like
No,
giving
it's
back
not an
thing? What is it?
altruistic. It's not a side hustle. This is a real thing.
This is a real thing.
This
And
is a real thing.
are you basically using this to kind of crowdsource deals where if some guy off the street who's never done it before stumbles into an opportunity and says, "Hey, Paul, can you help me figure this out? Do you want to put some money in with me?" Is it like that?
At this point, I'm not going to be a private money lender. I'm not going to be a JV guy. No, I will vet the deal with you. I will crawl through the basement with you and show you what you
Matt
should.
wants to go back. He wants to go back.
All right. I'm going to be the guy who goes through and finds all the lies in the building.
Was this just organic through your social media following?
Yeah.
You get people reaching out to you?
Absolutely. And I've probably consulted now on a good 15 deals.
Wow.
And every one of them have been successful.
Yeah.
Now, this comes at a cost, but you're getting me for life.
250,000 followers. You're a personality. How did you?
Oh, I'm a personality.
That's pretty nice.
What inspired you? Did it kind of happen organically, or was there one day you're like, you know what? I kind of want to be a little bit more influential and let me start documenting this. You're really good at it.
Okay. Truth is, I was watching some guys, because we all have social media, and I'm watching these guys making a fortune, and they're selling nothing but bullshit. And they know nothing about the business and what it takes to be successful in this. Look, anybody with a pocket full of coin can go out and buy a building.
Right.
Are you making a mistake? You don't know, because you don't know the business. Are you in it for the long term or short term? There's so many different aspects to what makes a person successful. And these people were just selling them on buy real estate. Buy real estate. Rents don't go down. Rents only go up. And I'm sitting there looking at my feet and I'm saying, holy shit. Anybody who buys into these bullshit stories are going to lose their lungs. And I just every day kept seeing, putting on these shows, 2,000 people showing up. And I'm saying to myself, wow, you know what? With what I know about this business, I could save a lot of people a fortune. So let me start doing this. And that's exactly how it started. And a couple of videos went viral early on. And I went from 700 followers to 1,100 followers to 70,000 followers.
Do you remember what the video was about? The one or two that kind of...
My car.
Your car.
A car that I bought.
Okay.
And it was inspirational. It wasn't me going out there, slapping it on the table and saying, this is what I got. No, it was inspirational. It was showing people, if done right, what you can obtain.
What kind of car?
It was a Rolls.
Rolls. You still have it?
No.
Why'd you get rid of it?
You know, I don't need that stuff anymore. I'm older. I'm 60 years old. I don't need that shit. I just want to now get out in the car, drive. I drive my Volkswagen. I don't need to drive a $400,000, $500,000 car on the road. I don't need it. I have everything I need. I'm not missing anything. And how much does it cost to keep that car? Well, now.
Oh, yeah. No, it's like a boat, right?
Yeah,
no one talks about
nobody,
like...
But here, you got to drive the car somewhere. So now it's a Rolls Royce. So parking, if you're in the city and try to park that car somewhere, good luck. It ain't happening.
Oh, like they won't even
They
take
won't
it in
even
a lot?
take it in a lot.
Liability?
Nope.
It's
too
Yeah.
much of a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now, let's say I was in Florida. I had a car in Florida. So now every time you go somewhere, what's happening? It's $150 to park the car. Because now you've got to be up front. So because now you're a VIP with a VIP car, it's not $20, $30 to park valet. It's $150 to park valet.
Oh, my God.
I want to go to a hotel in Miami Beach and smoke a cigar. It cost me $150 just out of the gate. So now I got to take the cigar, I got to smoke the cigar, I got to have a couple of cocktails, I'm $250 in.
Yeah.
All because I want to drive around in a Rolls Royce. I don't need that shit.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not cheap with my money.
Yeah.
However, I'm not stupid with it either.
Yeah.
I've done stupid things with money and I've learned.
What do you like to splurge on now?
Clothes.
Clothes.
Yeah. I like, yes, okay. Contrary to me wearing jeans and just a shirt with a collar, I do like to dress up. I like to get dressed up. Yeah.
Was there any big first purchase aside from the car that stood out to you that was like, you made it moment?
I started seeing that when, like, I bought a Mercedes, and then one wasn't enough, so I bought a Mercedes convertible. Then I wanted a McLaren, so I had a McLaren. Now I have no more room in the garage, so I have to put a lift in the garage.
You know there's a name for this? It's called a midlife crisis.
Well, this was way before a midlife. Yeah, you're going back 20 20 years ago, maybe.
Wow, okay, yeah.
So this was before midlife. And wait a second.
Ellie, can you come in here?
Ellie, you got to.
Come on.
You got to come in.
We took a 20-second pause here because we have a first-time occurrence. Ellie Carassone, Paul's wife, is joining us here. She's been listening in for the first 30 minutes or so, and Paul's kind of looking back at her and stuff. So it's nice to just kind of hear what life is like at home with Paul, chiming into some of these stories. But let's go back to the cars.
Okay.
You had all the cars.
This was the best. You want to talk about having kids today? If they grew up with fathers like we had growing up, man, they'd be jumping off buildings in mass.
Dads are soft now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and so are kids. So now I pull up in a black Porsche Cayman and tinted windows, black rims. I will say this. When I picked up that car at the dealership, it brought a tear to my eyes. Legitimately, come on. Growing up, everybody dreams of me. I'm going to have a Porsche one day. I want to have a Porsche. I bought that car. No bullshit. I pull it in to my father's house. I go in, I see my brother. My father's in the house. And my brother says to my father, "Hey, Dad, look at that car in the driveway." My father goes to the kitchen window. He looks out. He says, "What kind of asshole would buy a car like that?"
He did say that.
You
Really?
want to talk popping balloons? Listen, I was like, oh, man. I just got destroyed in a second.
Yeah, you thought your dad was
Yeah,
going to
he's
be
gonna-
so happy and
Yeah,
proud of
yeah.
you, and he
Congratulations.
called you an idiot.
Yeah, no, he called me an asshole.
Yeah.
So, it's different.
Yes.
So now, yeah, we go through the car stage. I've got the Porsche, and I get rid of that, and I get we had the convertible, and we had the convertible Mercedes, and I had an S63 Mercedes, and now I'm starting to get the cars, and I'm like, you know what? I can buy what I want.
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I can buy what I want. Then I had the Lamborghinis, I had the McLaren, I had the lift in the garage.
Is there a favorite car?
The Mercedes S63 or the Cullinan Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
My favorites. The sports cars, I had to be smart enough to know when to get rid of those
Yeah.
because you're never going to outdrive those cars. Not in a million years. Those cars have way too much performance and you're not going to win. That car will make you lose quick.
You're going to crash it, you mean?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Those cars have way too much performance. And because you can afford the car doesn't make you a race car driver.
Right. Yeah.
Okay?
Well said.
You know,
Yeah.
that takes years of training. All right.
Yeah.
Just because you can buy a piece of real estate does not make you a real estate investor.
Yeah, that's true.
Just because you can buy a McLaren, a Lamborghini, doesn't make you a race driver.
Ellie, when he would come home with all these cars, what was going through your head?
I just let him be. I said, how many do you need, really? I think he needed to realize that it was too much and this is not necessary to have so many cars
Yeah.
at the same time.
What is Paul like at home?
Mellow. When he had a hard day, I already could see what the temperature is going to be.
Like when he walks in, you're
I
like,
could read his body language.
what
so-
version of Paul is walking in the door?
Yeah, and I say, everything okay? No, it was such a horrible day, but you don't need to know. I'm like, okay, well, I made dinner. We're going to sit down. We sit down as a family every day. We
Yep.
eat with the girls. They live with us now. And then he forgets about it.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow's problem.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk about it. He doesn't bring it home, which I'm so thankful for that.
That's a skill set.
It
I
is.
don't know if you know that. How do you kind of turn it on and off? Because it's hard. You're dealing with crap all day, and then you walk into your house. You've got to be a very different version of the person that just got out of the car.
Here, any business you're in is going to have its problems. If I had a hot dog stand, I'd have to worry about sauerkraut going bad, buns getting stale, and hot dogs not selling. Okay?
Does he talk like this at home, by the way? This is just...
Yeah.
That's,
You-
that's him.
This is him, yeah.
That's who you're going to get.
Any business has its good side and its bad side. Real estate, I know this. You're dealing with people's emotions because this is their home. This is where they live. However, you have to remember this. They don't look at you as a single person. They look at you as the person with all the money, controlling how they live. And you're rich because you own a piece of real estate, evidently. And then they look at you as a company. They look at you as a corporation. They're not hurting you, the individual. They're hurting the company. So I don't make it personal. I don't let them personally attack me. That is how I get through the days. You know what? They're having problems. They're going through it. They're not coming after me. They're not attacking me. They're trying to get over on a corporation, on somebody who they think has more than them. They don't realize I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like they do. And we sit down and have the same conversations. It's all relative.
Right. Your dinner table issues are just like anyone else's
Yes.
dinner table issues,
That's
right?
right.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone's a human being. It's easier to point a finger at not you, Paul, not you, Ellie, but the landlord,
Right.
Yeah.
the industry, those people, rich people. But when you sit down and personalize it, you're just a normal guy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you're just trying to do the right thing and provide the best service that you can and make the best out of any situation. How do you deal with stress?
I eat it up.
Like literally?
I eat it up. I don't let stress bother me.
But what's your outlet? Some people
Go for
work
it.
out.
I do work
go.
out, in case you haven't seen the pump.
You're filling out those sleeves there.
I do box. I like to box.
Ooh.
And I just choose to, I get over it. I find a solution to the problem and I work around it.
Yeah.
I don't let it stress me out. I used to let things stress me out. I used to worry about everything. And then one day I woke up, I said, this is going to kill me. Either I'm going to deal with it and just walk through it, or I'm going to let it kill me.
Yeah.
It's funny. We are in, I think we're in Central Pay. And yes, stupid thing to say, but I remember talking to somebody and he was a medical examiner. So he saw people at their worst. He saw them on the table. And we were talking and he said to me, Paul, I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't get rid of stress, that's what's going to put you on my table.
Wow.
Stress is the number one killer
Yeah.
for all people.
Yeah.
So learn to deal with it.
What do you do, Matt, to deal with stress?
Golf.
Golf.
That ends up stressing me out more.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but probably golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a pilot. So for me, the stress reliever, go home, eat dinner, jump in the plane, go for a flight. But I've been flying planes since I'm 14 years old.
Really?
Yeah. My metal shop teacher in junior high took me in a plane ride, and then I started going for lessons. And as soon as I got my driver's license, I really went for lessons.
Wow.
So I've been flying planes for a very long time. And over that long career, the plane tried to kill me way too many times. So I knew, you know what? Hey, my luck is going to run out. So what, 6 months ago, I finally sold my plane.
Wow.
do you fly with him, Ellie?
I have.
You had what is it as scary as I'm envisioning it to be?
No, I don't like how it's bumpy. I like
Yeah.
how's going to be the weather today.
Right.
I got sick a couple of times. So he said, okay, the weather's great today. It's not bumpy. I was all right, let's go. We go to Block Island in the summer, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
And we just go, oh, you want to go and have lunch in Boston? It's cool.
That's really fun.
Yeah, Martha's Vineyard. Get on a scooter and you just waste a day riding around the island on a scooter.
Right.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
Is there a vehicle that you don't enjoy traveling with? Like cars, planes,
Well, I mean-
boats, trains.
Yeah, I like boats, but I would never own. Well, we used to own one.
So,
Yes.
Yeah,
A long time ago. A long time ago. Yeah.
we'll start wrapping up in a minute, but you wrote a book.
I did.
What inspired you to write the book? What is it about?
A lot of the lessons, the things we used to do to try and make money in the business. There's one chapter in the book where we talk about expenses. And for example, water taxes. Now, you're going back 25, 30 years ago, building a portfolio in the Bronx, and you don't have money. You don't have money to change tanks, 5-gallon flushes, things like that. So we used to put bricks in the tank to displace the water so you would have less of a flush and use less water to reduce your expenses on the water taxes.
Wow.
Yeah, see, these are the things people don't know.
The cheapest handyman fix you
Exactly.
could, and it'll save you God knows how much money.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's really funny. Wow, that's a good little trick. We have a lot of clients that are Guys like your age that are like figuring out what to do. They've been doing this business hands-on, just like you, for 20, 30, 40 years, and they're trying to figure out their off-ramp. Just like we're figuring this out together, what the off-ramp looks like. We got the portfolio on the market, and you're going to go do something else, triple net leases, another apartment building, whatever. What advice would you have to people that are unsure what to do and are trying to figure it out? You've made the decision already for yourself that you're doing this. How did you come to that realization, and what advice would you have for someone in a similar position?
Okay, so we'll start at the beginning, because the exit starts at the entrance. You have to prepare for your exit right at the beginning. Set yourself up so you have an easy segue to get out the door. People don't realize, they think getting into the business is difficult. No, getting out is what's difficult. Unless you're going to want to get kabonged and just take a bloodbath and just give the building away to get the hell out. And that's not the way to do it. You have to plan for your exit in the very beginning. No, at least have some sort of a strategy, because everything leading up, see, again, these are the things that people don't understand. They just think you're buying a building and then you're going to make nothing but money. No. Oh, you make money. All real estate is tax-free income. Bullshit. The government will always get their taxes. Okay? Whether it happens now or happens at the exit, you're paying the taxes unless you 1031, which then you have to have an exit strategy. Do you want to do a 1031? Do you want to do a DST? How do you want to get out? What is going to be the most economical way for you to get out? These are things that every buyer has to understand. Some portion of their career, they're going to be a seller. And they have to know how they're going to go ahead with that sell. Because if you depreciate your property down to zero, now what? You may not be a seller.
Right.
You may have to become a 1031 buyer.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Therein lies a problem. And you don't want to be in a position to have to buy a piece of real estate. That's the worst position I have to be in. You want to be in a position to be able to segue out smoothly.
Yeah. Is the exit that you have lined up now that we're talking about in 2026, is it the one that you envisioned at the entrance 10 or 15, 20 years ago, whatever? Is this kind of, are you following your plan as kind of you originally thought about it when you entered the business? Or is it maybe slightly different than what you originally had planned?
Different.
How so?
Family business moves on to the family. So I always envisioned my daughters would take over my portion of the business. My brother's children would take over his portions of the business. However, it's not going down that way because it is a hard business and getting more and more difficult to get into. I remember 5 years ago, my daughter come up to me. She says, "Dad, if you don't get out of this business, you're going to be dead by 65.
How did that land?
Yeah, that hits. Then I hear them not loving what they do. So that went out the window. It's no longer going to be a family business. They're going to get out. I'm going to get out. They're going to get out. And it's going to have to be, now, what do you want to do? Of course, I'm going to set them up in a business. But what do you love? What can you do? So the strategy was give it to them. Mm-hmm. That went out the window. So now I'm forced to do something else. Am I going to 1031? No, unlikely. Unless I find a property that I can't walk away from. Then that's a different animal. So I'm figuring I either jump into a DST and give up my control of my lifetime work, because now I'm giving it up to essentially a third-party manager.
Yeah.
How good are they? And you could vet somebody all you want. Everybody's good until they're no good.
It's a fund manager, basically. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, do I want to go into a DST? Do I want to just, you know what, screw it, let me pay the taxes? Do I want to pay the taxes? And then have access to investments that are going to pay me more over 5 years than my loss on the taxes. There's things to weigh. Yeah. It's a process.
This is a big decision.
You're damn right. It's a process.
You guys spent a lot of time talking about this at home?
Yeah.
What was that like, Ellie?
I think it's time.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to in this kind of next phase over the next
I love
whatever?
spending time with my husband. Him and I always together. Always. We laugh a lot. He gets silly, but
Yeah.
We cry a lot too.
no. No, not really.
Yeah.
No.
Not over our stuff, but over losses of people and things like that.
Yes. Yes. We have come to the age where that's it. We now enjoy life.
Yeah.
The fruit of his labor.
We had a client many years ago who 1031'd out of apartment buildings in New York into net leases. And the first thing he did was throw his cell phone away.
Beautiful.
He's like, I don't want to talk to anyone. Like, goodbye.
Okay.
Yep.
That's the way to do it.
We have a house in the mountains. My phone stays in the car.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't want to know about nothing when I'm up there.
Yeah, you just want to be present.
Yep.
Yes.
That's all it is, just
Yes.
presence. This was a really nice and unique and fun episode. So thank you for joining us. This was really great. Everyone listening, please check out The Property Boss on Instagram. And I'm sure people will reach out to you asking for advice and stuff like that all the
Absolutely.
time. Yeah, I'm sure that your comments and messages are you probably get some
Comments?
crazy stuff in there.
Comments. My God, you know how many people wish me dead?
Oh yeah.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, when I got my Rolls Royce,
Yeah.
oh, I can't wait for you to burn to death with your family in that truck.
Stop.
That's horrible.
I
yeah.
shit you not.
That didn't deter you. You
No, I don't give a
No.
shit.
just
Some
keep going.
miserable
Yeah.
people.
Miserable people.
That's right.
People are
Misery loves
miserable.
company.
Misery does love company. Well, look, you're an inspiration to the business and to young people. I've followed you and I've listened to a lot of your stuff, and I'm going to buy the book for sure and learn something. Yeah. So thank you very much, guys. It was
Yeah,
fun.
this was a lot of fun, Paul. A lot
It
of fun having
was.
you
It
guys.
was. Thanks for having me.
Our
I
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Our
And you know
pleasure.
what? I'm a better person now because I know you guys. So thank you.
It's awesome.
I love that. I love that. Thank you. The ultimate compliment.